Hello and welcome back. We are working on the project management foundational elements. You have seen what exactly is a project, what is project management, and what are the triple constraints. Now, let us focus on understanding the relationship between projects, programs, portfolios, operations, etc. So, as a hierarchy, you can see that projects are at the bottom. Multiple related projects will become programs, and several programs and projects are part of a portfolio. So let's look at slightly in more detail. A portfolio is at the very top level. It's a prioritized set of all projects and programs in the organization. That's the organizational portfolio. A program is a group of related projects which are managed in a coordinated way to obtain benefit and control, which is not possible by managing them individually. So projects are at the bottom. Now just keep this in mind, and I will go through with you step by step about programs and portfolios in the upcoming slides. So first, let us look at a program. A program is a group of related projects. So the most important word here is related. If the projects are not related, they cannot be part of the program. So keep this in mind, only related projects can be part of a program. Why are we clubbing them together as a program? That's because when you manage them as a program, you will gain benefit which is generally not available if you were to manage them individually. So the management is coordinated only because they are related. So keep in mind, a program may include work outside the scope of discrete or individual projects in the program. A project may or may not be part of a program, but a program will always have multiple projects, at least a minimum of 2 to get started on a program. After all, just because you have a large project, we can't call it a program. So, for example, if you want to create the next generation laptop, so you might come up with a project, let's create the next gen laptop that will be released in 2022 or 2025, whatever. So what is next gen? You need to define this with your stakeholders, and they will tell you, okay, we want best in performance, best in battery life, or we want at least 12 hours or 15 hours or 20 hours of battery, and we want 10 terabyte of hard drive. It should be gaming laptop with fantastic performance, and the display should be better than HD TV, things like that. So while this is an overall project, you will realize that there will be many aspects. For example, let's build a better hard drive that can house 10 terabytes. That could be a project. This laptop has to be the lightest. It should only weigh a half a kg. Well, making it lighter is another project. Making the best ergonomic keyboard, that's another project. So you might outsource some of them. Let's say for the hard drive, since you don't have the technical know-how or competence to build the 10 gigs of hard drive that is still weighs only like laser thin, maybe 50 grams. So your company might decide to outsource the work to Seagate or Western Digital. These are the companies that specialize in hard drive manufacturing. So when it comes to Seagate or Western Digital, they may look at it as the project to create a hard drive. But it will be good for them to understand that this hard drive is just a small component of the overall things, the keyboard, the monitor, the display, the battery, that all have to fit together in. So it may be better to manage the entire laptop as a program where there are multiple projects, the hard drive, the keyboard, the display, the battery, the performance, that will all work together to deliver the overall product. For a successful program, one needs to align the organizational strategy to the program and the project goals. There will be constraints, there will be assumptions. You need to find out what are these conflicts and how to resolve these conflicts and constraints within the projects of the program. You will need to manage change requests to handle the shared governance framework, because for a number of these projects which are part of the program, there may be shared resources. So who would gain priority? Which work is to be done earlier? Maybe you need to hire some consultants, but then they need to understand the overall framework as well. As a program, you might also have to allocate different budgets to the different multiple programs that are part. So how much budget to allocate, when, how, all this need to be planned out. Further, as part of the program management, you also need to make sure that the benefit that is to be realized as a program is actually deliverable. As a program manager, your job would be to actually get it delivered. So program management is a separate area. You only need to know what is a program, what is a portfolio. But right now, PMP examination and what the whole program is all about is about the role and work of a project manager, how to manage and deliver the project successfully. Just to understand, we are covering the terms program, portfolio, operations, etc., which for the rest of the entire program won't be coming in often. Next, portfolio. Portfolio is a collection of projects or programs. They are grouped together to facilitate effective management of the work and meet the strategic business objective of the organization. Now, what is the strategic business objective? It could be to improve brand recognition. It could be to improve market share. It could be to improve ROI, return on investment. Most companies, the overall vision is to somehow make money. So all these projects, programs are undertaken by the organization. In the end, one of the major objective is to generate money, revenue for the company. The program may or may not be related other than the fact that they are helping to achieve a common strategic goal. So as a portfolio, remember, it's a collection of projects or programs that meet the strategic business objective of the organization. So just to improve the brand recognition, we might do several projects. They may not be related. One could be to improve the customer service. One could be to improve the product. Now, product and service are completely different departments and different organizations, but in the end, they both, when they deliver hand in hand, you might achieve the strategic business objective, better brand recognition, better market share, etc., etc. So keep in mind, portfolio may or may not be related. It doesn't have to be. Now we look at another term, a sub-project. What is a sub-project? A sub-project is a component of a project that is often subcontracted or given to an external party or functional unit. Why? That's because they might have the required process, they might have the skills, they might have the technology to do it. For example, in certain industries, you need to test the component that is being manufactured. Well, testing of such a small component is so fragile, so important. Now, let's say in the semiconductor industry, you want to test a sub-component that your company is creating. But the point is, you excel at creating the component. You don't have the technical know-how to test it thoroughly. So there is a complete industry called the non-destructive testing. There are certain companies that excel in non-destructive testing. So these companies can assist you. You can subcontract only the testing to the testing agency, and they would have the components, the tools, the techniques, the instruments to test it without destroying the component. So this is a sub-project to just a small component of the overall project. Let's try to look at an overall big picture. So as a sample portfolio, you have multiple projects, programs and operations. So as you can see, the portfolio has program A, program B, and a project running. Program B can further be broken down into project C, D, and subprogram E, which is further broken down into projects, subprojects. Even the operations are part of the overall portfolio because they help to deliver the strategic business objective. The revenue comes from the benefit realization of the operations. So as a strategy and coordination point of view, portfolio, program and projects under a company may interact in a way that will require more planning, prioritization, handling of the risk, funding, resources, etc. to avoid any crunch. Therefore, at the senior management level, they need to come up with the right programs, portfolios, and there are different managers responsible for their different things, like project manager, program manager, portfolio manager, operations manager, and the overall project management office or a portfolio management office is set up to deliver the benefit. Remember, the coordination and strategy from the management will help in the delivery of the result, and ultimately the benefit of the projects and portfolios will be achieved. Let's look at another key point of difference. Programs and project management focus on doing the program and projects the right way. That means there is a certain methodology for you to follow. You follow the methodology and the project and the program is delivered the right way. Whereas portfolio management focuses on doing the right programs and projects for the organization. What is right for your organization? Well, that's what your management has to think and come out with. Are you doing the right thing? So that's portfolio management. And once they decide what is the right thing, then the program managers and project managers work on getting it delivered through the art of program management. So to understand the big picture, strategy of the organization leads to portfolio, which are the value decisions. What projects and programs will bring value to the organization? That's the strategy, and from the strategy comes out the portfolio. From the portfolio decisions, the programs and projects will be created. Those will help you in delivering the results. And once the projects are created, we will hand them out to operations to actually realize the value. So programs and portfolios, they work with each other. Between them, we continue to review the portfolio and adjust it to deliver the maximum business impact. Finally, when the operations begin to deliver the value, that's how the strategy is achieved. After all, the strategy is not just to deliver the project or do the project. Why are we doing the project? To derive the benefit, the revenue, or whatever it is. And once that value is delivered, then we can say, yes, the strategy has been executed well. So this is where the value performance analysis. Are we doing the right projects? Is our strategy correct? Are we delivering value to our board of members, board of directors, and to the general public who are your customers? So now we understand how the programs, projects and portfolios work with each other. Next section, we will see how projects differ from operations. So just continue on the next session. See you on the other